All right, everyone, it's 12 o'clock. Of course, we do not have a quorum at this time. Therefore, I cannot begin the meeting. I will give my colleagues about 3 or 4 minutes to see if they will be joining.
Alanya Moore.
Good morning, Dr. Moore.
Good morning.
Someone else just show up. Oh, that's Dr. Malone. Good morning, Dr. Malone.
Good morning.
Ms. Rose, is anybody present at the board office with you all? Because I can only see, I believe, Ms. Johnson, you, Ms. Winston, and Mr. Brooks.
Yes, Ms. Abraham is here.
Okay, awesome. So we have a forum. Colleague, Chair calls to order the special call meeting of the Board of Trustees for the Greenville and Floyd Consolidated School District. May we bow here for a moment of silent prayer. Amen. Colleague, you have before you the agenda for the special call meeting.
Dr. Bailey, Mr. President.
I'm sorry, I can barely hear. I can barely hear.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda due to personnel, and I would like to please put executive session as the first point of the agenda.
I couldn't understand. I heard her say personnel. Remember?
I'm sorry. I said that I would like a motion that we to amend the agenda present, and that I would like to have executive session as the first point of business on the agenda.
So Ms. Abraham, our policy does not allow us to amend the agenda for special call meetings.
Okay.
We can't amend the agenda for regular scheduled meetings, and I will defer to Attorney Palmer to verify that.
Dr. Bailey, you're correct in your assessment.
That's fine.
Is that okay, Ms. Abraham?
Right thing. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand what you were saying. The mic is not loud enough.
That's fine. I'm just trying to do the right thing.
Yes, ma'am. Chair will entertain a motion to accept the agenda as presented. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved properly second. All in favor? By roll call? I, Rashawn Bailey.
I, Alanya Moore.
Your vote, Ms. Abraham?
I'm Magdalene Abraham.
I wasn't able to understand, Ms. Abraham. Can you tell me?
She said aye.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Ayes have it. Motion carried. Mr. Brooks?
Yes.
As an authorized signer.
Ms. Abraham, I apologize. I can't hear. Are you able to hear Dr. Moore or Dr. Malone? Are you able to hear?
Not very well.
Can we do something about audio, Ms. River? Mr. Phillips, is it safe to say that you're having trouble hearing as well?
Mr. President, I can tell you that I can't hear anything on the other end. I can hear Dr. Malone, you, Dr. Moore. I heard vaguely, Ms. Abraham, but I can't hear what's going on at the table.
I was gonna say, it's the people in the room that we can't hear. It's the people online that we can.
Can you do a test, Ms. Rimmer, or Mr. Brooks, or Ms. Abraham?
Test, test.
Testing, testing.
Okay, it's better. It's a little muffled, but it's better. Would that work for you, Dr. Malone and Dr. Moore
Yes.
and Attorney Palmer?
That's much better for me.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear.
Mr. Phillips, are you able to hear a little better?
Is Mr. Phillips on? I'm not sure if he's on.
Yes, the number that called in, the 402 number,
Okay.
he
that's fine.
indicated that was him. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. And he's still on.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we
yes,
can
sir.
hear.
Are you able to hear us?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay, awesome. All right, Mr. Brooks, the floor is yours.
Approval to add Charles Brooks as an authorized signer.
And this is the signer for the district account.
Right. Thank you, Council.
All right.
Mhm.
All right, colleagues, are there any questions or concerns?
No.
Attorney Palmer, would this motion, would it need to include the removal of the current signature line for a former district employee?
That is correct.
Right. So, Mr. Brooks and Ms. Rimmer, can you all make note of that to be included in your motion, if you will?
We will.
All right. Any questions, Ms. Abraham?
No question.
All right. Mr. Brooks, your recommendation, sir?
Question?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dr. Moore.
So are we revising the recommendation, or are we going with the recommendation, except with change, with the necessary correction?
I will allow Mr. Brooks to speak to that.
Okay. Okay.
Your recommendation, Mr. Brooks?
Yes. The interim superintendent recommends that the school board consider approving Charles Brooks as an authorized signer for all Greenwood LaFleur Consolidated Public School Districts, bank accounts, and to remove the former superintendent as a signee.
Chair will entertain a motion based upon the interim superintendent's recommendation.
I so move.
Second. It's been moved and properly second. All in favor?
I, Kalonda Moore.
I, Rashawn Bailey.
Nay, Magdalene Abraham.
Ayes have it. Motion carried.
Mr. President, if
Wait, I'm
I,
sorry. Yes, sir.
if I may make a recommendation, when the motion is made, can you also just state your name as the person who is making the motion in the second, just to make sure that Ms. Rimmer can keep adequate notes since we're virtual?
Yes, sir. Definitely noted. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Rimmer, were you able to get the previous motion in the second?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Attorney Palmer.
My pleasure.
Mr. Brooks.
Approval to apply the surety bond for Charles Brooks and Rhonda Drummond.
Colleagues, are there any questions or concerns?
Yes, can you please repeat the recommendation?
Approval to apply for principal and purchase and bonds for Charles Brooks and Rhonda Drummond.
I'm sorry, I still can't hear. It's muffled.
I believe it's the security bonds that are required for
Okay.
the superintendent, and then also Ms. Rimmer is included on here.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Any other questions, colleagues? Hearing none, your recommendation, Mr. Brooks.
The interim superintendent recommends that the school board consider approving principal and purchasing bonds for Charles Brooks and Rhonda Rimmer.
The chair will entertain a motion based upon the interim superintendent's recommendation.
So moved, Kalanya Moore.
Second, Rashawn Bailey. It's been moved and properly second. All in favor?
I, Kalanya Moore.
Aye, Rashawn Bailey.
Nay, Magdalene Abraham.
Ayes have it. Motion carried. Mr. Brooks.
The Greenwood LaFleur Consolidated Curriculum Department is requesting board approval for a request for proposal of an English learner instructional intervention program for the 23-24 academic school year.
Colleagues, are there any questions?
No questions.
Any questions, Ms. Abraham?
Nope.
All right. Your recommendation, Mr. Brooks.
The superintendent recommends school board approval to process with a request proposal for an English learning and instructional intervention program for the 23-24 academic school year.
Chair will entertain a motion based upon the interim superintendent's recommendation. So moved, Rashawn
So
Bailey.
moved.
I'm sorry.
Second, Kalanya Moore.
It has been moved and properly second. All in favor? Aye, Rashawn Bailey.
I, Kalanya Moore.
Nay, Magdalene Abraham.
Ayes have it. Motion carried. Mr. Brooks.
The Greenwood LaFleur Consolidated Curriculum Department is requesting board approval for a request for proposal for an English learning instructional intervention program for the 2023-24 academic school year.
Colleagues, are there any questions?
What is the grade level, Mr. Brooks, again?
Dr. Moore, I have Ms. Johnson here. She can explain anything you need to know about that. Ms. Johnson?
Yes, Ms. Johnson, I did hear 8th grade, for the English, but what was the grade level of the curriculum materials that are requested for today?
Yes. Can you all hear me? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, the first one was English learner covering the grade span of K through 12 for our English learners. And this one here is actually the K through 8 diagnostic instruction and intervention program for the
You
streamers.
said diagnostic?
Yes, ma'am, for the required streamer.
And what is that grade level for the diagnostic?
It's K through 8.
Okay, Casey, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any other questions, colleagues?
No questions, Dr. Bell.
Hearing none, your recommendation, Mr. Brooks.
The interim superintendent recommends school board approval to proceed with a request for proposal for a K through 8 diagnostic instruction intervention program for the 23-24 academic school year.
Chair will entertain a motion based upon the interim superintendent's recommendation.
I so move, Kalanya Moore.
Second, Rashawn Bailey. It's been moved and properly second. All in favor?
I, Kalanya Moore.
Aye, Rashawn Bailey.
Nay, Magdalene Abraham.
Ayes have it. Motion carried. Mr. Brooks.
The Greenwood LaFleur Consolidated Curriculum Department is requesting board approval for the request for proposal for K through 12 multifaceted technology-based instructional program for the 23-24 academic school year.
Mr. Brooks, can Ms. Johnson or you just briefly tell me what a multifaceted technology-based instruction is?
You sure can.
I know you all included it in the supporting document.
Yes, the multifaceted program is a technology-based program, and it's a testing platform that allows us to do the benchmark assessment 3 times a year to gauge instruction. And it is also the platform that we use for teacher observation, and we can also use it for the multi-tier system of support for students.
Okay, thank you so much. Colleagues, are there
have
any
a
other
question.
questions? Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Was this program, Ms. Johnson, used previously in the past year or in the past year or years?
Yes, ma'am. We always use a program for the benchmark assessment purposes.
And we did use it for 22, 23?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Are there any other questions, colleagues?
No question.
Hearing none?
No additional.
Hearing none? Okay. Hearing none, Mr. Brooks, your recommendation.
The Honorable Superintendent recommends school board approval to proceed with a request for proposal for K-12 multifaceted technology-based instruction program for the 23-24 academic school year.
Chair will entertain a motion based upon the interim superintendent's recommendation.
I so move, Kalanya Moore.
Second, Rashawn Bailey. It's been moved and properly second. All in favor? Aye,
Kalanya
Rashawn
Moore.
Bailey. Aye, Rashawn Bailey.
Nay, Magdalene Abraham.
Ayes have it. Motion carries. Mr. Brooks?
The Greenwood LaFleur Curriculum Department is requesting board approval for a requested proposal for K-12 online reading assessment program for the 23-24 academic school year.
Colleagues, are there any questions?
Yes, question, Dr. Bailey.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Brooks, can you please ask Mrs. Johnson to give me just a brief synopsis of what is being presented at this time?
Yes, this program is put in place to help or to assist in closing the achievement gap in regards to literacy. We're seeking a program that would allow students to not only read but have a comprehensive exam to assess their comprehension after reading material. And it is online based and will actually be ran through the library.
I do have another question, Ms. Johnson. When you say online based, will our children or students rather be able to access this particular program via home or school or both?
Both, yes, and also the books are available online. That's what we're looking for, the books availability online and also the assessment. And it is available.
Additionally, what is the grade level for this particular online program, Ms. Johnson?
Yes, it's based on the left side level, but it will be open for K through 12th grade.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Any other questions, colleagues?
No additional questions, Dr. Bailey.
Any questions, Ms. Abraham?
No.
All right. Hearing no additional questions, Mr. Brooks, your recommendation?
Interim Superintendent recommends school board approval to proceed with a request for proposal for K-12 online reading assessment program for the 23-24 school year.
Chair will entertain a motion based upon the interim superintendent's recommendation. So move, Rashawn Bailey.
Second, Kalanya Moore.
It has been moved and properly second. All in favor? Aye, Rashawn Bailey.
Aye, Kalanya Moore.
Nay, Magdalene Abraham.
Ayes have it. Motion carried. Mr. Brooks.
Attached to the district personnel list which required board approval for the 23-24 school year. I'm sorry, 22-23 school year.
Are there any questions, colleagues?
Yes, Mr. Brooks, it was a little bit muffled. Can you repeat that recommendation?
Okay. Attached is a list of district personnel which required board approval for the 22-23 school year.
Are there any other questions, colleagues?
23. Is this summer work?
A summer worker, yes.
Okay. No additional questions, Dr. Bailey.
All right, any other questions, colleagues? Hearing none, your recommendation, Mr. Brooks?
The interim superintendent recommends that the school board approve the personnel for the 22-23 school year on the attached page. Contract will be issued as required.
Chair will entertain a motion based upon the interim superintendent's recommendation. So move, Rashawn Bailey.
Second, Kalanya Moore.
It has been moved and properly second. All in favor? Aye, Rashawn Bailey.
Aye, Kalanya Moore.
Ayes have it. Motion carries. Mr. Brooks.
Attached is a list of district personnel which require board approval for the 23-24 school year.
Are there any questions, colleagues?
Yes, I do have a question. Hold, I'm trying to access it again. I don't see, so, Ms. Rimmer, which attachment are we referring to at this time?
It should be 55, page 55. Is that correct, Ms. Rimmer?
That's correct. 55 through 58.
Dr. Moore.
Mr. Brooks, question. I know that many of these positions, as I read, are permanent sub positions. What happens in the event that we are able to identify and or hire a certified teacher or a licensed teacher in that area? What happens to that permanent sub at that point?
Find somewhere to place them, try to find somewhere to place them. We have plenty of openings. But hopefully the people that we're looking at have applied for license, and hopefully they will be the same person, same people.
Okay. And are we actively recruiting for those positions where we don't have teachers with license?
That's correct. I have a personnel
Okay.
director here. He can answer some of your questions that you. So does that.
Is this the attachment, Ms. Rimmer, that has other as one of the categories?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I think I'm a little bit confused. I see the actual teaching content areas, but I need a little bit of clarity with other. Tell me what does other mean? What is the district planning to how to utilize the human resource?
Dr. Moore, will you repeat your question, and the personnel director's here, he can answer your question.
I had a question in regard to the other category. How is the district planning to utilize the individuals that are placed in the other category? I do see the other teaching content areas, but the other
they have their
content area or
specified discipline on the side. Do you see where it says it has the discipline in parentheses? So that's how they'll be utilized. Or right underneath. You see?
Mr. Brooks, if I may ask Dr. Miller a question. Dr. Miller, in regards to those areas, that we do not have, licensed teachers at this time, are we exhausting most, if not all of our avenues in an attempt to recruit and hire, teachers in those areas?
We have done the best we could, we can to get those teachers certified. It seems that this year is, the MDE is just holding their feet to the fire, so to speak. They have got to make progress toward licensure, and some of our teachers have not done that. But we have worked through the process of trying to get them certified. Many of the teachers that we have requested license for have been deficient because they have not met some requirement towards progress towards certification. So at this point, we have pretty much exhausted all of our efforts, but we still need teachers in these areas. So the district has, this is our recommendation, that we go forward and utilize these educators as permanent substitutes at this point until licensure is secured.
Okay. Any other questions, colleagues? And thank you, Dr. Miller.
Thank you.
No question.
Ms. Abraham, any questions?
No questions?
All right. Your recommendation, Mr. Brooks?
The interim superintendent recommends that the school board approve the personnel for the 23-24 school year on the attached page.
Chair will entertain a motion based upon the interim superintendent's recommendation.
I so move. Kalanya Moore.
Second, Rashawn Bailey. It has been moved and properly second. All in favor?
I, Kalanya Moore.
Aye, Rashawn Bailey.
Nay, Nagel Abraham.
Ayes have it. Motion carried. Mr. Brooks.
Approval for stipend for the duties of Greenwood and Fuller Consolidated Public School District Web Master and Social Media Coordinator.
Colleagues, are there any questions?
Yes, Mr. Brooks, can you please repeat the request?
Approval for stipend for the duties of Greenwood LaFleur Consolidated School District Webmaster and Social Media Coordinator.
Okay.
And Mr. Brooks, Ms. Remmett's currently carrying out these duties.
She is.
Okay. Any other questions, colleagues?
No questions.
Your recommendation, Mr. Brooks.
Interim superintendent recommends that the school board consider approving Rhonda Rimmer as Greenwood LaFleur Consolidated School District Webmaster for a stipend of $5,000 as the social media coordinator and a stipend of $5,000 for social media coordinator.
Chair will entertain a motion based upon the interim superintendent's recommendation. So moved, Rashawn Bailey.
Second, Kalanya Moore.
It has been moved and properly second. All in favor? Aye, Rashawn Bailey.
I, Kalanya Moore.
Nay, Nagel Abraham.
Ayes have it. The motion carries. Mr. Brooks.
Attached are the claims for invoices for the end of the year. The following reports are attached. Condensed claim docket, details for fund report, details for audit edit report.
Colleagues, are there any questions?
No questions.
Hearing none. Mr. Brooks, your recommendation?
The superintendent recommends school board approval for payments of claims 955497 9555556.
Chair will entertain a motion based upon the interim superintendent's recommendation. So move, Rashawn Bailey.
Second, Kalanya Moore.
It has been moved and properly second. All in favor? Aye, Rashawn Bailey.
Aye, Kalanya Moore.
Nay, Magdalene Abraham.
Ayes have it. Motion carried. Is that all, Mr. Brooks? All of your recommendations?
Yes.
All right. Colleagues, at this time, Chair will entertain a motion to close this meeting for consideration of executive session.
So moved, Magdalene Abraham.
Second,
Second.
Kalanya Moore.
It has been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye, Magdalene
Aye.
Abraham.
Wait, Ms. Abraham. Dr. Moore?
Aye, Kalanya Moore.
Aye, Rashawn Bailey. Ayes have it. Motion carried. Colleagues, I ask that you switch over to the other Zoom link that was shared by Ms. Rimmer. Thank you.
Mr. Brooks, are you there? Okay, I'm about to make an announcement. I just didn't want to startle you. Ladies and gentlemen, the school board for the Greenwood LaFleur Consolidated School District has decided to go in executive session for the purpose of discussing due process considerations for an employee due process hearing. Thank you. And Mr. Brooks, when the board has met, we'll come back and reconvene in open session and then announce any decisions that have been made in executive session by the board.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Attorney Palmer, you can go ahead and make the announcement about the in executive session if you have not already.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, the board went into executive session, again, to consider due process considerations for an employee hearing. The board decided to authorize the board attorney to communicate an alternative date of Friday, July 7th, 2023 at 5:00 p.m. as an alternative date and time for said hearing. There was no other action taken by the board. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, thank you, Attorney Palmer. And it appears that I would need to wait for one more board member to join so that we can adjourn.
Tanya Moore?
Okay,
Hello?
thank you for joining us. I'm here. Thank you for joining us, Doc. All right.
Okay.
Chair,
I
there
had a
being no further
question, but
business,
I'll get that from Ms. Rimmer. Hello?
okay. There being no further business of the board, we heard you, Doc.
Okay.
Can you hear us?
Dr. Bailey,
Yeah, I can hear.
Yes, Attorney Palmer.
I think Coach Fant was trying to get on, but he's having some kind of technical difficulties on his end. He asked Ms. Rimmer to allow him to participate by phone.
Okay.
We have Mr. Finn on the line.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Rimmer. Colleagues, there being no further business of the district, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
He made a motion to.
So moved, Rashawn Bailey.
Second, and I don't have him.
So, Ms. Abraham, you did second it.
I did.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct.
It's been moved and properly second. All in favor? Aye, Rashawn Bailey.
I'm Evan Abraham.
I, Tanya Moore.
The ayes have it. Motion carried. This meeting is adjourned. Please have a good weekend and be safe. Bye-bye.